Real shit, my nigga. I hate fake ass people. I hate motherfuckers. I swear to God, I do. I wish people just get off my page because I'm not the right person for them.
But anyway, like I said, humanity would rather live a lie than know the truth. Just like with Israel coming out saying that Trump was going to let people know about aliens. And, this guy actually, did anybody come and say that he was wrong? Was there any official of the Israeli government that come out and said that he was wrong? That he was mistaken or he misspoke?
Who?
There was a guy, an Israeli general, who said that the United States and Israel has been talking to aliens for quite some time.
Okay.
Right. Trump, he said that Trump was going to reveal about the aliens, but they told him, shut up, don't do it right now, because people not ready. Because the aliens walk among us right now.
The aliens, huh?
Yeah, well, it's always somebody here that we don't know, because we don't know shit no way. Anyway, I mean, there are people that live inside the earth. We don't know where the fuck they come from. Hell, we think the earth is round. We have no idea what the earth is because we ain't never seen it.
Right.
Okay? If the people get into a space orbit around the earth or above the earth, they can't tell what it is because they don't never see it all at one fucking time. They can only see what their vision allows them to see at that point in time, right?
I never really did understand that shit. How they able to perpetuate that shit so long? Like, using the same props and shit over and over again. Like, the whole globe shit. That's wild, man. Like,
I mean, there's something to it, It's not. I mean, there are entities that live inside.
Okay, the whole moon shit.
Entities that live inside what?
The earth.
The whole moon shit, right? Like, who here think we went to the moon?
You said who here think we went to the moon? Are you putting your hand up or you hiding your smile? Which one are you doing? You in between? You don't know? I know. I say this. Ain't nobody went through no Van Allen radiation belts. Nobody.
Okay, so
they already admitted that.
So okay, so why do that? Why say we went to the moon, then niggas figure it out and be like, nah, for real, we did. Like, everybody looking at you like, nah, nigga. And you like, nah, for real, we did. Like, you're like, what you mean? Like, everybody, even your people looking, you see how them niggas looking back there? Like, all them niggas looking down and shit, like, and they still going on with it, nigga. Like, and people who's just rolling with it. Of course we went to the moon. Like, come on, man. Like, now they talking Mars and shit. You know what I'm saying?
So,
you think we went to the moon?
They go to SpaceX.
What about SpaceX?
So, what, those shuttles ain't going up there?
What shuttles? They can go up there all they want, but they're not going to the fucking moon.
Okay.
You can go in low Earth orbit all you fucking want, dude. Have a good time. Enjoy. But when you get to those radiation belts that they've admitted that they've trying to make a capsule now that can go through them.
Why they don't never use that term? You notice they never use that?
What?
Van Allen belts, you never hear that shit. Like,
they don't want you to know that they exist. They rather that be a relic of the far gone past.
That term should be as prevalent as moon landing.
Should be. But if space travel was as
like Lee
Harvey
Oswald,
as they say,
JFK,
they would use space travel
CIA,
to get to Mars. But they didn't. Because the shit's not based on space travel. It's based on a different type of travel that I don't think we're ready to recognize that you have interdimensions, different dimensions, and people running from one to another is what they're talking about. It's not like actually space travel. How long did it take them to get to the fucking
I don't understand that
space station? 17 hours? But you traveling at 18, 19,000 miles per hour, so you got to catch up to this motherfucker in space. You know what I'm saying? You got to catch up to the damn space station in space. Why take so long to get there? If it ain't nothing there, if space is a fucking vacuum, you should be able to haul ass to a vacuum, right? Ain't nothing stopping you.
This nigga trying to get killed.
Ain't nothing stopping you in space, right? If that were true, then you could go from one point to another in no time because there's nothing stopping you in a vacuum, right?
I don't know what I'm
I'm just saying, if it's a vacuum, in that point where it's a vacuum, what's stopping anything from coming through there? A vacuum cleaner wouldn't work; it just hoover up everything, right?
Right.
Then it can fit in there, right? So what's gonna stop you in a vacuum if you're in a vacuum of space? What's gonna slow you the fuck down? Where's your resistance? Why you need all that fuel in a vacuum?
Some niggas be just floating around like that.
You'd be floating around. I'm so sick of this damn place, man. These people be lying so fucking much, bruh. You know what I'm saying? They lie so fucking much and it's crazy.
Then you be like, man, y'all be lying and shit. Like, what? No.
Oh, not us. We never lied to you.
No, that one time, oh yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah, maybe that was. No, now
you
we're not
understand,
lying.
like, we ain't perfect either.
No, you know,
people
we
like
make
you know you ain't.
mistakes. Honest mistakes. Bullshit.
Back to the vacuum. What about the vacuum?
What about the vacuum? A vacuum don't hold no temperature. Right?
Right.
A vacuum don't hold no substance.
So we in a void or
if you're in the void or in a vacuum, how would you get heat from the sun? If it's a vacuum. So only because that there's elements here on the earth does the sun's heat and radioactivity come into existence? That's not true. Because they have ultraviolet waves that you can't see that pass through the earth all the time from the sun. So what carries those waves? What allows those to propagate through the vacuum of space, if it was such a thing?
Are you asking me for the word?
I'm just saying, if it's a vacuum and nothing moves in a vacuum, how can heat from the sun reach the earth from 173 million miles away? How is that possible if there is a vacuum in space?
I think it's 173,000 miles.
That was 173 million miles.
Yeah, you say I think it's 173,000.
But the planet.
I actually don't think it's any of those, but okay.
Nothing's being sucked up.
Maybe 173 miles.
No. 17.3 feet. Okay, it's right above our heads right there. But no. You said in a vacuum. Okay, I'm not talking about it's being sucked through a vacuum. I'm talking about that one point where that vacuum is. In the vacuum cleaner, there's one point where vacuum is, actually. Okay, and everything else flows through that point because it's a constant vacuum. So it's pulling something from one spot to another. So a space is a constant vacuum, and where there's nothingness in the vacuum, how can it propagate or carry heat, electromagnetic shit, sunspots, or all that shit you get from the sun? How can a vacuum carry that? Is my question that I'm seeming not to understand. If space is a vacuum, how can light travel through a vacuum? Right now I can see that because light is traveling through the medium of air.
So you saying it's not a vacuum?
Nigga, I don't know. I ain't been in space. What I'm saying is,
right,
it ain't what they claim. Ain't nothing that we've been taught true.
So it took them 17 hours to get to the satellite.
I've been in space.
I mean, to the station.
Yeah, the first time, it took them 17 hours to catch up to that motherfucker and dock. So I had to fly around. I guess I had to fly around the Earth and catch up to it. I don't know.
So SpaceX.
I mean, it could be something that they call in space called the ether, in which everything is consisted through and held in. You know what I'm saying?
The void.
Mitchell Morley.
Which I was saying a void because you was talking about.
How would it be a void though?
Or a wormhole.
How would it be a void if there's an ether there? It can't be a void if something's there.
Right.
A void would say that there's a vacuum, that there's nothingness. That's what a void means.
But you also was talking about the wormholes, the different realm dimension.
Mm-hmm. That what different beings and entities run from one place to another. Instead of them traveling through space and being space aliens, maybe they're dimensional beings come from one dimension to another, since space is not what we think it is.
Time and all that shit. Like,
well, we
it's
know
all
time
about-
is fake.
Yeah, it's all
Time is
about
man-made.
how you perceive it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So what is
energy and all that shit.
What is warp speed?
Warp speed is a concept from fucking Star Trek.
So that's what Crump gave us.
Crump.
He put us in warp speed.
Well, you know, he started the Space Force. A lot of people laughed at the Space Force when it was created, but a whole lot of money is going into the Space Force. That's been disappearing in a dark hole for at least 60 years in the United States. So you can sit there and believe that they don't have the technology that they have, but they're at least 50 to 60 years above us in civilian life with the technology that they know of in their military, interdimensional, planetary jumping asses knowing about motherfuckers.
So you think they doing it?
Israel has confirmed that already. What did I say earlier? When the general from Israel stated that Trump was going to tell people about the aliens on the planet, and they didn't think that the people were ready, and the people not ready.
You don't think people ready?
No, people are dumb. People
think
are
they're
crazy.
Smarter?
No time soon, because they're controlled.
Might as well do it now.
Man, don't do it now because it causes mass panic. Cause mass panic, you cause the big corporations money. Cause the corporations money, then they're not gonna like you. They're gonna kill you. They can't kill everybody, so they rather just shut the fuck up and be quiet.
Sometimes better to just rip the Band-Aid off, man.
Sometimes it is, but when you're dealing with corporations, they would like to slowly
do suicides and they jumping off buildings and shit.
That's
get
right.
it over with.
That's right.
Then we turn back to normal.
It'll never go back to normal. But then the people will realize that everybody's been lying to them. So what else have you been lying to us about? It'll never be back to normal.
It's not gonna matter then. You just kill them. That's what the government's saying. At
All
that
right,
point,
man.
what the fuck are they talking about? The people that are mad are gone, so let's just kill the rest of them.
Yeah, I'm tripping, man. So
the useless eaters, they just get bullets, nigga.
That's what they make bullets for, useless eaters.
When you said Trump called it the what? The space program?
What happened?
You said Trump called it the space
Why
program.
you keep saying crump, nigga? What that mean?
Trump called it what? The space program, right?
Space Force, nigga.
Space Force. So
nigga, they gonna be fighting wars in space. Catch up to what he's saying.
fighting wars in space. From space?
Space Invaders,
In
nigga.
space.
You remember Space Invaders, nigga?
Man, stop playing.
I mean, that's the real shit. Shoot them niggas. From the crib and shit.
You gonna have home base space invaded defense, nigga.
From the house, nigga.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
This is Space
clock in
Invaders.
at the house, nigga. You don't need me.
Nigga said Space Force all the way down to the blockchain.
Blockchain, nigga. Blocking the chain. Who the fuck want to block in the chain? Not me.
Well, you know the blockchain, that new shit, that new technology they got going on. How to organize shit. So, so maybe the Space Force is the opening of the people to recognize what's actually going on. Damn, I keep yawning and shit. Shit close. Blockchain itself, it's such a revolutionary way of Bitcoin shit. So that's a secure way of doing transactions that's outside of the normal way of doing transactions.
I mean, we were in the blockchain 2010. All the shit integrated. So credit, FICO shit.
Yeah, but see, the blockchain is not integrated into all of that. That's the thing.
It's integrated into something.
No, it's integrated
within
itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to become the same shit.
Yeah, but it's not there because all those are antiquated in comparison to the blockchain.
What's the benefit for the people?
The benefit for the people would be a quicker usage of the technology and of the savings and eliminating
What about
third
what about those
parties.
that don't want to involve themselves with the whole blockchain?
Or if you don't want to, you can always stay with the old shit as long as they have businesses that are available doing the old shit. You know what I'm saying? But it always will cost you more.
I'm sorry about that, man. What you at?
Blockchain and all that.
Yeah.
And I heard you say, you said you don't have to associate yourself with it. What if you don't want to? You said you could?
Yeah, as long as you have a business that's out there that's not going for the blockchain, it's not going to go down that route. You know, you can always have that option available as long as somebody offers it. If it's not offered, then it's not available. And you have to do what you have to do unless you create something totally different. Somebody might take it back to bartering. Instead of doing a blockchain, they go to bartering. You know what I'm saying? They use a barter system. Instead of using money, they use bartering and just take
services for goods and
Right.
goods for services,
Right.
as opposed to
and leave out all that shit and just leave that off the paper. You know what I'm saying? And then when you do it, you'll do this certain amount for blockchain type of activity.
Space Force has nothing to do with that.
No, it can't. But how can the Space Force, something that's outside of the area, have anything to do with something that's
Well, blockchain
different
has to be
internal?
downloaded, so it has to be.
It don't have to be downloaded. What are you talking
Ain't
about?
it an app?
No, blockchain is a way that things are done. Is a
they call it a ledger.
It's a technology that
It's a
allows for the
platform.
equal distribution of items under the blockchain.
Okay.
But instead of just being about economics, as far as bills and expenses and income and shit like that, it's that plus everything else in your life. Medical bills is all wrapped into one file. Like we was talking about files and folders. You know what I'm saying?
Consolidation?
It will consolidate a lot of things into that area instead of you having a bill for this, a bill for that. It would just blah, all right there in the blockchain in one thing, in one area, so you can access it.
That'd be part of the new currency.
Yeah, all that shit.
Link currency.
Your social will count as social shit will count as money, currency, right along with what you make it work. There's outside.
Well, let's go back to what B said. B said that you can't go to the bank and they have that mortgage.
No, he said they won't have the mortgage.
So if they ain't got the mortgage, then you don't owe the bank shit.
Technically.
Yeah, but you owe, well, technically, yeah. Well, to be honest with you, technically, you don't owe anybody anything because without your signature, there would be no money. If you don't sign on the dotted line, it doesn't create that asset for them to turn around and then charge you a debt for it. You understand what I'm saying? On the Admiralty law, the creation of monies is done under what they call fractional reserve banking. And it's based off a fraction of the reserve that they're able to create out of thin air. Yeah, I know, it just blows your mind. You're like, oh yeah, well. Fractional reserve banking, let's say you got $14 million in the bank. Out of $14 million, you can take $13 million and write loans off of into perpetuity.
I ain't loaning nobody nothing.
Right. Off of $12 million, you make your first loan, $12 million you can make loans off of. You know what I'm saying? But you're not actually loaning any of the money in the bank. You're just making loans off of the money in the bank. It's not based off the money in the bank, but it's making money outside of the money you already have in the bank. So every loan creates more money for the system to operate on. Each loan you make makes more money. That's where you get your currency from. It's not money because money is a finite amount. Currency is infinite as long as you can print the currency. It might not hold its value worth a damn, but it's still an infinite amount of currency can be printed. You got
still fit in the whole thing.
I don't know how to answer your question, but
So, what will become? What can we expect the dollar bill to become?
Non-existent.
well, the dollar bill has already been taken out of circulation.
I got some dollars.
Pull it out. Let me see.
Okay. Blah, baller.
Okay. Let's see. What's that right at the top right there?
Federal Reserve note.
That's not a dollar.
Oh,
What is that?
Shut
Federal
up.
Reserve note.
So that's not a dollar.
It's like IOU type shit.
So you don't have no dollars in your pocket.
It's always been on there.
That's not a dollar.
It's not always been on there.
It's not a dollar.
Let me put my Federal Reserve notes back in.
Thank you. Those are Federal Reserve
Let me
notes.
see. The tens got something on it?
Nigga.
Same shit.
You better waste your time.
If you find one that say the real thing, let me know.
It won't be printed no time soon.
It won't be printed no time soon.
No, they've already printed all of those and taken them out of circulation.
So it used to be something without it.
Federal Reserve notes came into existence when the Federal Reserve came into existence. The dollar was around before the Federal Reserve came into existence. That's just like the state and the federal. One was before another. The U.S. dollar was before the Federal Reserve because it is a currency of weight of how much each dollar is in gold.
You got something to drink, man?
Like what?
Something.
All I got is you want water. I got some alcohol. Alcohol, you don't drink alcohol.
Sure. What you got? Shots? Sure. I fuck with it. Straight. Two ain't gonna hurt nothing.
Time for the bullshit phone talk. Scammers all in my collar. Must be that I'm a
That's crazy.
Must be the way
You know
I talk.
What?
Dinner records show that I make
The money, nigga?
It's good to have my own dinner plate. What you calling me for? Get your own plate straight. No time for no gummy shit. No time for no gummy shit.
This thing goes, nigga.
In actions, celibate. I stick to move.
What's the legal tender? It went from,
Legal tender, CI.
yeah, it went from, I forget the time. Oh, word.
Which one you want? Tequila, vodka, brandy, or whiskey, or bourbon?
Bourbon. Smoky.
I don't like these type of shit.
I'm going. I feel the same. Take a shot.
Y'all gonna go live.
Okay.
You got people calling in. I got people
Call? Scoop it up, Scoop it up.
By the genre, since my people found ya, and they fake crown ya. Time to put her back where they found her. Messages in my like that. I got 27 messages in my phone and I ain't answering them bitches. Delete. Nigga, this child's play and I'm Chuck. Wasn't born with me on my worst day. You ain't that lucky. Man with Tonka toys and Hot Wheels. Little boys with big wheels. Call my phone, get a voicemail. I've been gone since next till. Girls out here got hot tail. Boys locked up trying to make bail for so long. They start to tell a domino effect. Watch them all fall down, gone off the town. For ringtones and iPhones, I got 80 gigs of free space. I will not waste no time on. Got realty and property. I'm focused on too busy in my own zone. I'm focused on what's going on. This is rich cuts and truth game with a master moves and flow. But they don't do gold no more. Now everything platinum though. And a good reason to answer my phone. I give a boost cause I'm mobile, all in my DM, but ignore my status, asking am I Cancer or Sagittarius? Get the fuck out of here with all them questions, cause I have no answers, all I have is 27 minutes. like that. I got 27 messages in my phone and I ain't answering them bitches. Like that. Delete.